ver hoy los Xgame, que por motivos ajenos no pudimos verlos. Ya nos decidimos a empezar esta silla a ser un poco más cómodo y ver todos los episodios ahí, vernos todos los episodios. Igual invitando a aquellos que quieran hacer un live o algún en vivo acá en el sitio del BMX, son bienvenidos, solo escríbanos, o que quieren subir algún video, compartirnos algo en nuestro canal. Pueden contactarse ahí y nosotros con todo gusto los apoyamos subiendo sus videos, compartiéndolos y apoyándolos, ¿verdad? Así que vamos a ver los episodios de los X Games 2025. Vamos a comenzar con los Dirt, a ver cómo está, ¿verdad? Voy a buscar aquí los X Games. Dirt BMX. De ahí nos vamos a ir al street. Vamos a ver, este se mira bonito. BMX Full Completion Game Salt City. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver vamos a ver primero, a ver qué. Vamos a darle vuelta a la pantalla aquí para verlo.
Since the dawn of time, stories have connected us. Open art brings the tools to the storytellers of today. Creating a character is simple.
Ryan Williams is a 9-time X Games gold medalist, looking for his first gold here in BMX Dirt. He is ready to send it today.
Taking a look at the social media there from yesterday, it says caught by the wind, went over the bars, but despite being banged up, that guy just flips a switch in his head and goes to a different level when it's go time. 8 total riders in the field. We talked about 2 of them. Guys, your standouts?
Yeah, I got my eyes on Mike Varga. This set is perfect for him with his style of tricks. I'm expecting him to show up and show out today.
Every one of these riders is going to do banger runs and can take the gold, but I got to talk about Jay Tui. He's the OG in this field.
Vamos a darle vuelta para que se vea un poco más acá, ¿verdad? Vamos a conectar bien aquí.
The best run that counts. Overhead view of the course. We have a new feature this year. You've got one jump that's kind of a tricky
Vamos a venimos más
It's been a
agua.
while since we've had sort of a unique feature like that here at the X Games in dirt. But we started off with Corona, California's Katie Stone. He has a total of 1 X Games medal to his name into silver, and that one came in dirt best trick back in 2023 in Ventura.
Vamos a poner un sticker a la
Caden Stone
silla.
has an insane trick list, and the stuff that he's doing is so original, it's so technical, and it's so huge. So, you can see he's getting mentally prepared right now to ascend this one. He knows
Vamos a poner un
that this
sticker
first
acá.
hit,
Ahí
as
se
big
ve.
as it is a 30-foot jump. He's going to go huge, and he's going to try something absolutely insane. He usually doesn't hold back at all, so you all should be ready for this one. I think this is going to be absolutely crazy.
CK is a savage. Little W, I've known him since he was a baby pretty much. He's been under Daniel Sandoval's wing since the beginning, and now he's here competing with Daniel. He's going to go huge. He does not care.
Here we go. Kate Stone getting ready to send it down the roll, and we are underway in BMX Dirt Final.
Starting things off with the twister. Oh, but he didn't get the rotation there. So I was thinking he was going to send that one, and that's such a huge trick to do over a 30-plus foot jump. Like, he was in the air just hanging there. So the way he landed sideways, he just wasn't able to carry the momentum and get going through the rest of the set.
The twister is basically a front cork 1080 over a 34-foot jump, so he almost had to slow down the rotation. Normally they have to spin it so hard, but he had to keep it chill. He kept it a
Voy a
little
ver los
bit too chill.
episodios de los X Games.
He's got 2 more runs though. He lives for this. He loves the next game.
Vamos a conectar esto
That is going to bring up
para que se escuche.
He has 9 total X Games medals, 3 gold, 1 silver, 5 bronze. All of those in either park best
Go
trick
crazy.
or park. He does not have any dirt medals, but watch out. This guy has a very, very deep
Yeah.
well with some insane firepower.
Yeah, he's the one who took Caden Stone under his wing, so it's cool to see them go back-to-back right now. They're basically brothers, so roll-ins back-to-back. Daniel's a machine. Wow,
Wow,
you can
que me
see
perdí,
how
que me
huge
perdí,
that
que me
was. It was
perdí.
a flip double if he had to slow down. 360 bar spin to downside whip, front flip up, 360 switch double down whip.
Vamos a ver todos los episodios de los Xgame, desde Dirt, Street y Bird hasta otros más.
Front flip, 720 variation, like that was a cool run. Looking at these replays, look at how high he was, just slowly kicking that bike around, catching it with all the time in the world to figure out where he's going next.
That was one of the steeziest flip doubles I've ever seen, how slow and controlled he got to do it over that 30-foot jump.
There's
30
no
foot
doubt
double.
about it. But look at this last set. Here's that cork, 720 bar spin. Throwing the handlebars around on that first rotation, you could see he was coming into that back wheel, but he handled it. Amazing first run.
These guys mean business.
Daniel Sandoval setting the bar in the mid-80s with an 85.33.
No la molesta, ¿eh?
Moving on to an Australian competitor here. You talked about him at the top of the show there, Dennis. This is Jay Toohey. He owns a dirt silver. He's got 2 Mega Park bronze. He's got a silver and a bronze when it comes to dirt best trick.
Jay loves big jumps. He lives for this. He grew up riding Cam White's jumps, one of the biggest dirt jumps of all time over there in Australia. And his whole life, he's been doing this for almost like 25 years, riding big jump contests. And here we go, 34 foot first setting, nothing for Jay.
Ya te voy a hablar, Seba.
Hola, ¿me puedes dar un dado del mismo tamaño por 10
Permiso.
quetzales?
10 quetzales.
Se nos metió una aficionada aquí, muchachos.
Mira, mejor ya te estés
Vamos a-
desnudando.
Vamos a seguir viendo, como les digo, los Xgame. Tómate un poquito de agua.
Tenemos una promoción especial para nuevos usuarios.
Wow, seguimos.
Nothing from Blake.
Viendo los Xgame.
He's making these jumps look like nothing.
Watch him switching his feet right there.
Doble backflip
With a double backflip. Another amazing first run.
de
That's how
Ribia.
you put it down at first.
Llaman
That's a thing of beauty. Like, he really loves big jumps. Like,
Ribia, no es una
You can't
marca.
build him big enough for him.
Yeah.
You honestly can't.
no, he likes to stall his tricks out, and he loves the hang time.
Primero fue
He comes
Daniel
from- he loves
Sandoval, el
motocross,
segundo
so
Kane
This
Stone.
is right up his alley. I knew he was going to look great out here.
And the first hit, look at how big he goes. Full
Creo que ese
extension
es
on
un
that
backflip,
Superman backflip.
Superman.
Into
Shout out to
that
DJ
jumping
Lavin.
bike flip. Yeah,
No
he's
ma-
on
no sé cómo
course,
se llama
so
este.
hopefully we get to see him soon. But there's that nothing from bike flip, making the bike do a full
No
rotation,
le ven el
jump
nombre.
back on. But watch his feet. You can
Sí,
see
el
the
triple
feet right
tailwheel,
now,
no,
right
doble.
foot forward. When he lands, he switches his feet, going left foot forward, continuing on to get this double
Doble
backward.
front flip.
And let's talk about that a little bit, because in street, you know, you got Jordan Godwin doing that for the technical reasons. Jay actually prefers...
Como les he dicho, vamos a ver
He's not
todos los
using people
episodios de
like
los
that.
X-Game el día de hoy.
And boom, in 83, he's up
Por eso
there.
tenemos esta silla ahí para estar cómodos. Muy, muy cómodo, ¿no?
Behind Daniel Sandoval. Again, this is round 1 out of 3 here.
Y invitando a aquellos que quieran subir sus videos con nosotros o short, y como se llama, escríbanos, acá se los compartimos en el canal del sitio del BMX.
This will be his 4th X Games start. His best finish in this event was 5th place in Ventura last year.
Yeah, Gavin Chavez was having a bit of struggles leading into it, but so far so good. He's keeping it going.
¡Hola, vaina!
He went a little bit too deep on that first one, but I'm just so glad that he is actually
Poquito.
riding this competition.
Yeah, I talked to him in the athlete lounge, and he took a huge slam yesterday, and he said he's not going to do anything in practice, and when they call his name, he's just going for it.
Yeah, and he comes out swinging with that double backflip can as well. It kind of works in his favor that the competition was pushed forward because he got a little bit of chance to heal and get a little bit ready for it.
Yeah, he got hooked up with that one. He wasn't even sure if he was going to ride today or not, or yesterday.
Ah, la
So
gran-
you can see he caved so hard on that one. He tried his best, but he landed a little bit too deep on that first hit.
Fíjense,
He's going to put it
este
together. He's
es
pumped now. That adrenaline's pushing the pain away.
Chávez.
He's got 2 more
Habla
tries. to go.
español, ¿no?
He'll have to focus on rounds 2 and 3. I saw footage of the crash from the other day. It was a double backflip, and he took a pretty
Este
heavy
es
hit.
quien no va a
Again,
conocer,
I'm
va.
surprised that he was
Ryan
able to
Williams.
continue on here today. We take our first look at Ryan Williams.
Really dropping in. I saw his crash in practice.
Doble front flip.
Forget about it.
Oh,
He was
no.
gonna do double.
Perdón, se me trabó el inglés.
What? He's like a gymnast in the air. To stall out a double flip and stop it.
Nobody can do what he just did. I know that didn't work out, right? But the truth is, that did work out because he was able to fix what was broken. Went a little deep in that double front flip, which is absolutely insane.
Whoa.
Yeah, he started to pull back.
And then said, nope.
Oh my goodness.
He knew it wasn't right.
But he did the best option. You know, he's got to be careful. He got to butt slide out of there. I know his side is pretty injured. So as long as he doesn't hit the side, it's okay.
Oh, he wants it so bad.
Si no se motivan así, no sé con qué más se puedan motivar, ¿verdad? Vamos a encender la luz acá para que tengamos más. Más adelante vamos a tener acá. Hoy, pero no vamos a ver eso. Doble backflip. ¿Qué pasó?
Keep that momentum going right there. You can see he had that squeeze that pedal in there, but that's fine. That's not going to affect anything.
Wow.
He's got to finish strong here. Nice 720 tuck no-hander. I know that wasn't good, but listen, he made it from start to finish, and he's got a score on the board now.
Yeah, that's an amazing run no matter what. But for X Games, Parker's got so much more in the bag. So it's good to just land one, get one through. Takes the pressure off.
There's that double flip. You can see that Mike does his different. He actually corks out to the side and looks over his shoulder. He's been doing that ever since he's been sending these double flips.
Bueno. Me quieren desbancar de la silla. Mucho les gusta la silla.
Me and Dennis both know here that Mike has so much more in the tank. You know, the next two runs are going to be insane.
Yeah, he's that sleepy guy. You always forget about him sometimes, and then just boom, comes in with another medal.
Good enough for a 75.66 right now. They'll put him in that number 3 spot before we move on to our next rider. Let's check in again with Kristen.
Yeah, Brandon Lupos up next. The last 10 months have been really challenging for him. He suffered a back injury in Chiba in 2024. He said it wasn't just coming back from a broken back, but rather getting back into a high level of riding. He said that he's entering this X Games behind the 8 ball, but still going to give it his best.
Yeah, that was in one of the park comps in Chiba last year, and he actually had to stay over there in Japan for an extra 3 weeks after that. He does own the gold medal in this event. You have to go back to Minneapolis in 2018 where he took a dirt gold. He also owns 2 silvers in this event.
Brandon can do it at any contest, park or dirt. When he's on, he's on. He's just been struggling with so many injuries, but...
Turn your passion for pet portraits into profit. Start selling.
Vamos a tener que para YouTube sin límites.
Land a little low, holding it over.
Yeah, you can see his foot slipped off right there.
Yeah, it's so good to see Brandon back because when he's on, he's always one of the dudes to beat.
Yeah, one thing I think we should address too, for everybody that's watching, you're going to see a lot of these guys. It's going to, you know, especially when you're setting a double backflip over the first set, they're going a little deep on it. And the truth is, there is some tailwind right now, and they don't know when the wind is coming. And that wind will blow them over the jump. Everything is so calculated, what these guys are doing. So when they're in the air and they're feeling that tailwind, there's nothing they can do about it.
We talked about this young man at the top of the show. He is chasing history out here today. Came in as a rookie 2 years ago, won gold, backed it up last year in Ventura. If he can three-peat it, it'll be the 3rd time it's ever happened at the X Games.
Oh my gosh, this guy is
Wow.
This is why he's the dude to beat. Everything.
This is insane banger. What a first run right there.
Was that a first run? Brady Baker, that is what people have to beat now.
And he out his tube.
I thought I heard something.
That noise.
Savage. Brady Baker.
That was his. I heard that. I was like, that couldn't have been his.
I didn't want to call it. That was his tire.
That's insane that he rode away from that.
Wow, I can't wait to watch the replays. That
I want to see
the casserole whip to table. That was a savage trip. It had so much ease in it.
I was like, that had to be somebody else's tire in outbeat staging, but apparently not.
But look at how good this is. And he folds that table in there. But look what he does on the second jump. Backflip, triple tailwhip,
no sé qué más. Y esto otro.
He has the most diverse, beautiful runs from beginning to finish, and that's why he's not been beat since he started getting invited to X Games.
Realmente impresionante, de amazing, dijeron ahí.
That's what I want.
Asombroso.
So look at there.
Va, ahí sí lo entendí. 720 Marcio. Y reventó la llanta. Esos son los nuevos tubos, si no estoy mal, esos son los nuevos tubos, ¿va? Los nuevos tubos que están ahorita saliendo. ¿Ese que está ahí?
Wow.
Yeah, Brady, in the 90s right there.
Aquí en Guatemala yo no he visto ni uno, ¿verdad? Pero sí están buenos de traer. Vamos a ver si los podemos traer
Your
nosotros.
two-time defending gold medalist is sitting in the top spot. Front flat tire and all.
Oh man, after the first runs, that's where you want to be in the 90s.
Wow. So Daniel Sandoval sitting in the silver medal position right now, and J2 hanging on to a bronze there with that 83 flat. But what a performance by that gentleman. I mean, you couldn't have scripted this. A flat tire and still right away from your last trick. We've got round 2 when we come back.
Ahorita regresamos, dice Omar. Bueno, vamos a hacer una pausa ahí, como les estaba diciendo, vamos a estar viendo todos los episodios de Xgame que no los pudimos ver en vivo por estar haciendo otras cosas, ¿verdad? Pero vamos a seguir viéndolos acá, vamos a ver Dirt, vamos a ver Street y Bert.
Round of runs here, but it's that gentleman right there, guys. Your defending two-time gold medalist Brady Baker sitting in the top spot with a 90.33.
Le están preparando la BMX.
Yeah, so right here we have Dustin.
Para esas competencias es los que les digo yo, que hay que llevar 2 aros delanteros, 2 traseros, 2 marcos, ¿cómo se llama? Hasta los cambios, ¿verdad?
Ready to go, so he's going to be ready to go for that second run soon.
I call him BMX Jesus. Dustin's the best, taking care of all of us out here. And yeah, 4 of the dudes stomped banger runs, and 4 dudes still didn't make it through the line. So half the field is yet to get through. So this is going to be a contest.
To do that, to finish that run with that last hit when the tire blows as he's leaving the lip and then ride that out to get a score of 90.33, that was money. And we still have 2 more rounds to go. We take it back up to the top here with Caden Stone. Caden currently sitting down there in that number 8 spot, went big here on the first hit.
Vamos a hacer una prueba con el micrófono para ver si se escucha el sonido, ¿verdad? Si no, pues lo vamos a hacer.
See if he starts off with this twister again, which he does, and he's got some momentum. What's he gonna do with it though? Oh, the triple whip, and he cased it.
Man.
It's such a gamble to send a trick of that caliber over that first jump.
Yeah, you got it. Adam Alloys and his crew did such a good job with these jumps where you can land a little low and keep going through, but you still have to land pretty decent. And he's gonna have to land a little bit higher.
No. No da esa opción. Va a tener que ser en una computadora.
He's got 9 total X Games medals, but he doesn't have any dirt medals. So if this would hold up, this would be his first ever dirt medal.
Yeah, he's in a good position so far. And the truth is, he's got so much more in the tank. I'm just waiting for these combinations to show up. He's such a technician at combining the whips and the bar spins and the 360s. It's pretty amazing.
And I'm thinking he's going to add a whip to that first set.
You have to almost, right? There's just so much time. So let's see if it happens right here. Daniel dropping in. Ooh, there's 2 still. Oh, and he hit the foot.
Ooh, thank God he got that last couple foot of that landing right there.
Yeah.
He was going far. Yeah, Daniel's got it. He's in a good spot. He's still got that 3rd run. Just got to shoot that one off and come back.
Oh, his handlebars moved back. I see that. And I was actually talking to him earlier today, and he was saying that his handlebars might have moved when they were in Japan. And he said that in the competition, he thinks that that's what was messing him up during the park competition today. So seeing them move again, like, I know that's going to be so frustrating for him.
Yeah, because you want to be exactly where you need them. When they move just a millimeter, it freaks you out.
Oh, and it feels terrible, too.
It's got to be in that perfect spot you're used to.
Well, before we get to J2's second round, let's check in once again with Kristen.
Yeah, Jimmy, I have a question for Dennis and Scotty. That step-on, step-off feature is so unique. We have not seen that in a dirt course at X Games. What is the best strategy there?
Yeah, so that on and off feature is super complicated because you have to decide on whether you want to do a big trick in or a big trick out, or if you have the speed to even mess around with that. I mean, Dennis, we've seen some stuff so far, but like, what do you think of that being on a course?
Yeah, from what I've heard from all the riders, that's the hardest jump to get on, so you really don't want to mess up right before that thing. That's why you're going to see a lot of 360 push-throughs and front flip push-throughs, but that can make or break someone's run if they get big tricks on and off of that thing. About to bring in J2. He was one of my picks for this thing. He loves huge jumps. He's been doing this the longest. This is his thing right now. J2, he's pumped.
Sitting in that bronze medal spot.
He's focused right now. He's in a world of his own.
¿Cuánto cuesta esta chamarra impermeable?
Pues ahora es gratis en Temu.
Se les puso la publicidad.
¿Es de buena calidad?
Ahí está.
Wow, again, starting things off that huge backflip Superman C grab, but I think he got blue in the wind right there. The way he landed a little bit sideways, I think that might have messed up his rotation.
He was upside down like a sail for about 3 seconds.
Especially like he's attached to the bike, he's only holding it with his hand on the grip and his hand on the seat. Like there is no control there, so he's lucky to have ridden away like that.
He had the look like he was going to go for something insane. He was in a blackout zone of J2's mind.
Absolutely.
Could see some crazy focus going on. That was sick.
Only gets another run. So
yep, let's see it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, with the format, you get 3 attempts, best run the count. So,
hey, Fuzzy
Hall in the house.
TJ Labin right behind there.
Wow, shout out Fuzzy and TJ.
BMX Dirt legends watching these guys. Can you imagine riding in front of them?
Wow, yeah.
Si no le entienden al inglés, no se preocupen.
City, the home of Mike Aiken, Matt Behringer, Sean Elf Walters. So many legends out here.
Looking back up top of the rolling here, Gabriel Chavez. We talked about the crash that he had earlier in the week on that double backflip. And just
después de caerse de
trying
ese
to
doble
shake this
backflip,
one off, get in the zone here.
Está aquí, ¿verdad?
I mean, in his last run, he started things off with a huge trick, the double backflip can. I'm expecting him to go for that one again. Let's just hope he gets both wheels in the transition of that landing so he can get speed to continue on. But it all comes down to this right here. Let's see how he sends his first one.
Tal vez si lo tenemos, pues nos cuesta rápido traducirlo.
So it looks like Gabby's sitting here waiting for the wind, getting ready to go. Waiting for it to be perfect, because these guys are doing the craziest tricks, and they are focused on that, right? And that's dangerous enough. Now when you have to do the trick, and you have to factor in wind at the same time, you don't want to have anything in your mind besides what you're doing when you're about to send a 34-foot jump.
Oh, whenever I'm riding jumps this big, I don't want any wind. It is not fun. So that little breeze you're seeing in the trees is enough to push you 2 feet one direction or the other and mess your trick up. So
yeah, because the bike,
time.
It acts like a sail. Those wheels, I know they're spokes, right? You would imagine the wind would fly through that, but it doesn't matter. It catches those wheels like that, and it's like holding up like an umbrella in like a windstorm. It's similar to that. And now when you have to ride on top of something like that and try to secure it on the way in, it's a nightmare.
We're taking a look back at athlete staging there. Daniel Sandoval working on the handlebars there, getting reset after he had to throw the bike away and step off here in round number 2.
Obviamente después de una caída, pues la bicicleta a veces se tiende a doblar los timones o los tornillos aflojan, ¿verdad? Por eso hay que revisarla después de una caída muy bien antes de un accidente.
Welcome back, everyone. Day 2 X Games Salt Lake City 2025 presented by Sonic here. BMX Dirt Final taking a look. Some highlights of Brady Baker from round number 1. Back-to-back gold medals. And after this performance, guys, he's sitting in the driver's seat.
You just stare at his front wheel. You can see the tire give out a mid-720 bar spin over that huge last jump. Now, the drama's not ending here, though. Brady just had to rush to get this tire fixed. And while he was waiting up on top of the Roland to go again, the tire blew up once again. But it's a situation like this. This could kind of make it less stressful going ahead.
He seems so calm and collected. He's not tripping. He's got his team managers working on this. Dustin over there, Andy Buckworth.
Como le está diciendo, esos son los tubos nuevos, ¿verdad? Vamos a ver si podemos traer algunos a Guatemala. Yo no he visto alguno aquí, pero sí se miran interesantes, ¿verdad? Muy interesantes.
I mean, he's turning into like the best, the greatest dirt jump competition rider of all time because he's just so clean with everything he does. He's so clean that he can lose the front tire and still ride away from the trick and get the highest score of the day. So.
Yeah, man. I was out at Woodward East and I saw him ride for the first time, and I never heard anything of him. I don't think he had any
Y
sponsors.
ahí podemos ver la importancia de un equipo, ¿verdad? Mientras el atleta no se desconcentra, pues el equipo está ahí reparando la bicicleta, ¿verdad? Esa es la importancia de un equipo para no hacerlo uno todo. En competencias profesionales, lo mismo.
So with Brady's tire, when the tire blows up like that, it's usually from heat, right? In situations like that, you'll be sitting out there, and especially when you have a Kevlar tire like that. So when Brady's tire blew out, there's a chance that the tire was actually damaged. So there's a really good chance they have to change the whole tire to be able to keep that thing on the rim now.
Yeah, which is a lot harder to get used to than just changing a flat.
Oh, absolutely.
Could be different weight, not worn in.
Yeah, and then the texture of the tire as well, like what Dennis was saying, like when the tire's not worn in, I mean, it's a little bit different on dirt, of course. If you're riding like a concrete skate park, I can't believe that Logan Martin is working on the tire right now, too.
Logan Martin's the first alternate for dirt, which is insane how crazy stacked the field is.
To your point from a few minutes ago, Brady doesn't look fazed by this at all. He's just kind of hanging out, smiling.
About anything.
He's like, hey, did you see what happened that first run? I blew that thing on the lip and I still rode her away.
Yeah, and he's like, that was a 90. I'm used to 96s. Let's go.
We were in a commercial break, and he was already back up on top of the rolling, and you heard the bang, and it scared the crowd, and then we're like, well, that's not Brady's. And then he comes down the stairs holding that bike up like, oh, here we go again.
I think Kristen and Scotty James took off running. That thing was loud.
All right, now we roll out of here. We go back up to the top here. Gabriel Chavez, again, took a big crash on a double backflip earlier in the week. First run didn't pan out the way that he wanted it to, sitting in that number 7 spot. Just going through the motions here. You need better than an 83 flat to jump into the medals right now. That spot being held onto by J2.
And he has the tricks to do it, especially the first trick. That double backflip can he did in run number 1. If he sends that one again, he gets a good landing, and he's able to continue on. I'm so excited to see what he comes up with, because he has such a deep trick.
¿Cuál es la hora mejor? La mejor hora para ver videos, para motivarte, ¿verdad? Y es en la mañana, las primeras horas del día y obviamente en la noche, ¿verdad? Así que vamos a tratar de compartirles en vivos así. También ver datos curiosos. Wow, ahí vemos una caída en el doble backflip de... No sé quién es. Pero, ¿qué les digo? Vamos a hacer estas transmisiones, como les digo, también invitando a aquellos que quieran formar parte de un en vivo, ¿verdad? Ahí les voy a escribir yo o me escriben y vamos a hacer cosas así, pues aquí en el canal del sitio del BMX.
Wow.
He got out of it good though.
Yeah, so there's the can. Kicking it over. Everything was looking good, but he was lagging on that flip, and he knew it too. Right away, he's like this. And you see where his feet went in front of the tire.
Someone was looking out for him on that one.
To not get tangled up in that, the way his legs were when he came down, to get up and walk away from that is huge.
There's Kevin Praza talking it out with him right now.
Kevin's also a medic on his spare time.
Wearing a lot of hats this weekend.
Oh boy.
Ryan Williams
next.
See the bandage on the right elbow. As I said earlier, that guy just flips the switch when it's go time.
And here he goes.
We're looking for double front and double back.
And he's continuing.
Front flip trick, front flip trick, front flip trick. Keeping it going. Retake.
All right, this is going to be a big one. Double backflip 360.
Yo creo que cuenta eso. Si no estoy mal, tiene que ser 1 o 2 segundos en la caída para que el truco cuente, ¿verdad?
Like we said, he just wants gold. He doesn't care about second or third or fourth anymore.
Not at all. He is here on a mission, and his journey on this mission so far has been rough to say the least.
It's getting closer and closer every run, though.
That's the truth.
Still
but
got
let's
one
break
more.
this down. Double front flip, absolutely huge.
And then he pump faked me.
Yeah, now look at this one right here. Front flip, forward front flip. Like, that is a scooter trick right there. That is like a bride flip right there. So it's amazing. He's doing it on the BMX bike, but this is where things went wrong. And he did the Aussie roll, right? It's a double backflip mixed with a 360. He came in. Everything looks great.
His hand slipped a tiny bit.
Like, he
that was
looked in control.
His hand just slipped. That's all it was. His hand, he stomped that. His hand just pulled off the grip a little bit.
It's shocking. And it was his good hand, too. It was his left hand. It wasn't even the damaged one, the one that he has the bandage on. So that was tough right there to watch. I can't even imagine what he's thinking.
Way to lose that trick. He must have just landed a little in the back seat. Maybe his hands are a little sweaty from the heat. The gloves were sweating through.
He'll be back, though. If there's anybody that is good enough with... Oh, here we go. That's the last thing we need. A roll an ankle on the way as well, right?
Keep it together already. Get back up that rolling.
Oh, so they'll put him in that number 5 spot as we look at Mike Varga. He's just outside of the medals. He's in that number 4 position with a 75.66.
Mike Varga's that sleepy killer. You always forget about him a little bit, and then he just comes out swinging all the big contests.
Look at that.
Well, you don't forget about him. He's just so chill. Oh, no, get back to the camera. Get back. What is he doing?
Oh, we caught the last clip of that, but from what I see, there was a tail whip and a 720 right there.
I'm such a huge fan of this guy. He always comes out chilling and then just throws the most banger runs on everything.
And that's why I said earlier, I know these jumps are exactly what he needs for his trick list, so I'm curious to see what he did in between, how we got to this end.
Yeah.
But let's break this down. Double backflip. Like we said, he looks over his shoulder. He's got a different double backflip than everyone else. But the 720 no-hander, that was an upgrade from run number 1. Continuing on with that front flip. But this is where we need to check out and see what happened here.
Okay, we're back to the 7 tuck.
And that was good. Good extension there.
First half of this run is a thing of beauty, and we know what the last trick was. Ooh,
3 down
switch,
whip.
down whip. Normal 360, switch tail whip.
Here
Into a 7 whip. That run is good.
That's a really good run right there, and everything looked really clean as well.
Yeah, Varga, that's going to throw him way up there.
So with the pre-run score, 75.66, he will check into the 80s. It'll improve the score, but not the placing. So an 80.66 for him. Jay Tui hanging on to that bronze medal spot for now. Daniel Sandoval sitting in that silver medal spot. And of course, Brady Baker, who rides last in the rotation, your leader. As we get set to bring back in Brandon Lupos.
Yeah, we talked about this off the first round. Brandon had a string of injuries.
Xgame la vez
And
pasada.
a lot of freak accidents as well. And he's had a rough road to get to where he is. But he is so talented on his bike, and anytime he steps on it, and there's a huge double backflip into the cash roll. This is good momentum right here.
He slipped the pedal in.
Oh no!
No. That was intense right there on the on and off, but he held on. He had to throw his run away, but he stayed safe at least.
Yeah,
that could have got crazy.
Because if you lose a hand up top like that, and you lose control, then you're compromised going off of the step down, and that is never a good idea.
Big shout out for Brandon for pushing through so many injuries, and he keeps coming back strong.
Yeah.
Jay Tui's similar. Jay's had a ton of injuries as well, and he just kept pushing through to now where he's at his prime at 34.
There's no doubt about it, and Brandon still is as well. But this is where things went wrong. He did that bar to tug, but look at pitched forward, going towards a ramp. I know this is not what he wanted, but this is a win to be able to run out on that setup right there. So I'm going to say once again, it's terrible to see, but there is still run number 3. There is still hope for him to be able to get his run of the day.
How many amazing moments at X Games have happened on run number 3?
No doubt about it. That's where
when it goes down.
Biggest moments happen.
Well, this gentleman had an amazing moment happen on run number 1. Brady Baker, 90.33. Tires fixed. We go on for run number 2.
More of the same.
Let's go, Brady Baker.
3 whip up is impressive as well.
Okay.
This is big right here. What's it going to be?
Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. 90.33 isn't enough for Brady. He pushes it up and up and up. Through first run all the way to third run in every X Games. He's on.
Can I say it now? Is he the best dirt competition rider of all time? Can I say it?
I mean, let's give it another run and see.
I'll say it. Dennis isn't ready yet, but I'm ready. Like just to do what he just did in 2 runs back to back is unbelievable.
He's the future. He's taken a little bit from all the masters. He's got a little Pat Casey in him. You know, he's got a little.
But he is so the present right now too.
That's
he's
what I'm saying.
Control.
He's taken stuff from all the masters in the past, and he's.
Oh my goodness.
He is Brady Baker. There's no one like him right now.
1, 2, 3.
He can slip up a tiny bit, readjust, and throw a banger. It doesn't phase him.
No doubt about it. Casual bar spin on the step down.
He's got
but this
tricks.
is where he made a huge improvement. Look at this. 1 bar spin, setting up another bar spin in the 720, and it was perfect as well.
He one-upped himself a lot. That score is going to go crazy. Yeah, Brady.
Es normal eso.
Yeah, Brady. Keep that vibe.
He's just claiming it right now. Last year, he added his name to the history books because prior to his gold medal performance last year, only 5 people had ever. 93.66 to finish that thought. Only 5 other people have won more than once.
Brady, a 90.3 wasn't enough for you.
You know, we blew that tire on the first one in the middle of the air. I'm just happy I landed that. So go back up there, reset, got a new tire on. How to make these guys work for it.
How'd you stay calm with all the tire madness?
It's part of the sport. I work this every day, and I'm not going to let a little tire blow distract me. So had to go in there with a clear mind and just get the job done.
1 run to go, Brady Baker.
It's crazy to see, for me at least, Brady. He was the kid, the 10, 11-year-old kid that was riding with me at the skate park when I was training for X Games, and now he is pushing the limits of BMX every single run.
Did you feel like it was going to lead to this when you met him as a little kid? Did
he was so dialed, he was. But it's like, is he going to stay with it? And of course he did. And look at where it brought him, man. I'm so proud of him, but it's just amazing to see how far he took it.
He was already in the lead, but he gave himself some breathing room with a 93.66. Can he hang on? We'll have the 3rd and final round when we come back. Back, everyone, to Salt Lake City X Games SLC 2025, presented by Sonic, as we get set to bring you the 3rd and final round of the BMX Dirt Final. It is Brady Baker, who came in as a rookie 2 years ago, took home the gold. He backed it up in 2024. Here's your third leader with a 93.66. Daniel Sandoval sitting in the number 2 spot. Jay Toohey sitting in bronze. Ryan Williams was knocking on the door, guys, though, in that second round.
He's knocking, man. Just check this run out. It was so close to being stomped perfectly. And I'm interested to see if he's to land something like this, if it'll bump past that 93.66 Brady's got on the board.
Yeah, Brady put up a huge score, man. But, like, the truth is, those tricks in there, those are, like, one-off. Those are tricks that only Ryan Williams is bringing to these competitions. So this is going to be a crazy 3rd round, to say the least.
Yeah, it's a battle of Brady puts together this, like, masterpiece of a run from beginning to end, and R. Willie's throwing tricks nobody else is doing. Just, it's incredible. He's almost like a stuntman superhero, where Brady's just, like, mastering the beginning to end dirt run. So I'm excited to see what they're going to give him if he pulls. Not if, when he pulls his run.
You can see him back there at Athlete State. Look, Andy Buckner was helping fix Brady's tire earlier. Now he's playing medical guy as he's over there putting kinesio tape on Ryan Williams' shoulder. So again, Brady Baker, 93.66. Daniel Sandoval, 85.33. And Jay Toohey holding on to that bubble spot with that bronze with an 83. However, everyone gets one more run to go here. It is best run that counts. Before we get to this last round, let's send it down to Kristen.
Yeah, Ryan Williams out here receiving medical attention for that right shoulder. You know, I asked him why run 2 wasn't a safety run. Generally, that's the strategy. He said he missed his step-on trick. He wanted something bigger, so he decided instead it was full send. Unable to stick the landing on 5, looking for magic in run 3. But guys, an absolute warrior. He's endured so much this weekend already, just trying to battle through the pain on that right side that we talked about at the top of the show.
Well, it looks like Andy's got him dialed in there with the kinesio tape, so he should be good to go. So it was there. It was so close. That left hand just slipped off the bars.
Don't forget about this dude, Caden Stone. If he can stomp his run, he can get in the 90s, no problem. He wants it, man. He's working hard every day. He's got the energy, and X Games is a spot for him to just release.
So we start off this 3rd and final round with Caden Stone.
What it comes down to on this first jump, though. And he threw the bars, but he actually changed up the run, which I'm totally fine with. It's a huge trick as well. Look at him making through to the step up. Nice bar down.
Vamos a quitarle esto de acá. Ahí está.
Wow. I'm so happy that he was able to show up here at X Games and get a run on the board.
That was big. That was a good run. He really changed it up.
Un solo sentir, una sola comunidad
the twister,
de adrenalina
it was a
nivel nacional e internacional.
As clean as could be. Perfect. And then followed it up straight into that triple whip. Now what he did on the step down was so clean. This bar spin 720. And then he ended it off also with another huge trick. And yeah, like I said, I'm just so glad that he was able to get a run in the bag.
That was a really sick, well put together run. I'm excited. That might get near podium.
It's going to be close. Yeah. It's definitely going to be close right there.
Best dabbing thus far was mid-20s, 78.66. It'll get him 2 spots out, but we'll see more of him in BMX Dirt Best Trick tomorrow. But great job for him on that 3rd and final round. Daniel Sandoval. He owns 9 total medals.
Es Daniel Sandoval, ¿verdad? De la Total, creo. Soy mal. Está bien, Daniel Sandoval, tercera ronda. Lleva 85.33 puntos.
So the real question is he going to fit another tail whip in that first jump? Could it be the flip triple, Dennis? We're going to find out right now. Whoa, he went for the double again, which is fine. We're totally cool with that. That was huge, but...
Dropped the switch whip.
Oh, this is a clean run right now. 720 bar in the step down. It was perfect. 3. Oh, no.
He was going to one-up himself.
¿Será que se cayó? Ya logrado el truco, se cayó antes.
That's a trick that only he is going to send right there. And this goes along with what we were talking about in park. He is all or nothing. He is either at the top or at the bottom of this one.
That's how Daniel does it. He loves to just send it. And he's still in 2nd place with an 85.33. That could hold for a long time.
Totally could.
A lot of crazy
especially the way things are going, though. You know, like the runs they're all over the place here. So if people put it together, then yeah, he could lose that spot. But you never know how far these guys are pushing it. They know they have to turn it up. The runs are going to get hard, and they're going to get difficult to land.
So this gentleman sitting 1 spot behind him as of right now, also looking at a potential medal. He owns a prior silver when it comes to BMX Dirt. This is Jay Tui.
His first run was so solid. That's what gave him that 83. Slipped up a little bit on the first set. On his 2nd run, let's see if he can put it together in his 3rd one.
Just look at the height of his riding right here. Huge flip Superman seat grab. Right foot forward with a triple whip. Switching it to left foot forward to get that front flip. Wow, nothing far on the step down. It's almost backflip. That was a heck of a run right there.
I told you guys, that's my guy.
Unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable. He changed it up. The front bike flip on the step down.
Huge. I haven't seen him even do that in practice. So for him to show up and send it on that one, unbelievable riding.
That one had a little bit of everything.
Absolutely, but let's just look at the height. Let's appreciate the beauty of that over that first set. Switching his feet in between. Only person
he prefers tail whips. Right foot forward, switches back.
Yep, there's right foot forward with that triple tail whip. But man, how he finished was just so strong. Left foot forward for that double backflip.
Front bike flip into a double flip.
Yeah.
This is going to score.
This is going to be a good one. This could definitely mess with this podium right now. I'm glad he didn't fall right there on the Burby celebration.
So he had that 84.33 will bump up the score. He's still going to be 1 point shy behind Daniel Sandoval to overtake silver. However, just gave himself some breathing room here as he's looking at a potential 2nd dirt medal to his name. Gabriel Chavez. Gabriel Chavez down there in the bottom of the pack in that number 8 spot. The 3rd and final attempt here for him to put one down.
He's had a rough week, but let's bring it together, man.
Ahí lo vamos a averiguar ahorita.
Here we go.
Oh, he did it! He did it!
He got it.
Hoy sí llegó, hoy sí llegó.
It breaks your heart watching a friend of yours, you know, you want him to be able to do what he came here to do.
One of the best dirt riders in the world, that's why he gets invited to this. This got scary.
Yeah, it looked like his foot might have got stuck. It did.
Oh, he still got it around perfect, but that was scary.
Well, I want you all to watch his foot right now. Watch, it gets stuck on the frame. Imagine doing a double backflip and having that panic. We've done can-cans and they get stuck doing a straight jump. It's miserable. Imagine rotating a double flip. I'm just glad that he made it past that point.
Especially after his run before that.
Exactly.
And hats off to him for being a warrior. You don't need to say much. The dirt and the scuffs all over that shirt tell the story of the week that he has had. Here we go. Ryan Williams. It was there. He was knocking on the door that last go-around. He's outside the top 3, sitting in 6th.
Double front flip.
This. He's got the momentum. Control. What? And one more, Ryan.
Third runs a charm. He said it right before he dropped in. Ryan Williams, what is this going to score?
Oh my goodness, what a run right there.
Oh, the shirt's coming off. Here we go.
Check out Andy Buckworth's tape job. I think that's what he's doing right now, everybody.
Andy Buckworth, mechanic, medic, best trick rider tomorrow.
Wow.
Crazy run.
There's almost a 10-point gap in between first and second place.
Oh, he just gave his shirt to that little kid. That kid
Awesome.
leaving with a souvenir.
Let's break this down for you all. This first trick, double front flip in a dirt competition.
Mi pregunta para los BMX que están viendo esto sería, ¿se la pondrían ustedes? Yo sí.
Like forward flip variation he does there, and that's the one when he keeps his hands on. But the double flip over that first one is the crazy. That's just, nobody does that. No one does. There you go again. You can see how complicated.
Does anyone do
it is.
that?
Nobody does.
Two jumps in a row. And then he goes, you guys thought I did too many front flips? Let me give you a double backflip.
Yeah, 2 backflips for you to offset it.
Let me just make this run real proper.
But where is this going to score? I have no idea. He didn't do the Aussie run, right?
This would be
So
one of
this
the
is
worst times to be a judge right now. That's going to be so tough. Brady compared to this, and Daniel, like, where do you put this?
He's going to be on this podium, but where? Where is he going to be?
Everything, dude. My shoulder. My shoulder was about to give out.
There, this is a hard one.
Inward. And I still got the cash wrong. And you made it!
Waiting for his last score.
Oh, what did he get? He scored 3-3. Not only did he get into the top 3, he just put himself in the lead for the first time.
94.33.
Since the end of
Primer
round
lugar.
1, we have a new leader, Ryan Williams, sitting in a potential gold medal.
This is right where he wanted to be. Now he's got Brady Baker up against the ropes.
Y tenemos interrupción de pausa en anuncio, perdón. Vamos a, sale, ¿cómo se llama? Vamos a ver si activamos YouTube sin anuncios.
Against the ropes. But guess what? Brady's always got more. There's still a show.
I have spoken with Brady's dad. He said Brady has so many crazy tricks that he is ready to unleash. And Brady knows it. He's got that skill. He's got that ability to release it when he needs to. And I'm so excited to see how this plays out.
Listen to him. He's not stopping. You see, he looked up the roll and was like, come on, get it, Varga, because Mike Varga's up next. We only have 3 riders left to go, by the way. Brady Baker, being the defending gold medalist, gets to ride last, so he's going to get the last chance to answer back. But wow, Ryan Williams, when it's all on the line in round 3.
There's this new little baby. Our Willie, man, showing up except for that third
Una
round.
felicidad increíble, ¿verdad? Ryan Williams. Vamos a poner
That's what's
Te
up.
amo.
Shout out to all the moms out there.
That is Ace Lucas Williams. He was born on December 10th, 2024. By the way, it was last year in Ventura when he decided to let the whole world know that they were expecting. We were all surprised about. I believe it was Best Trick when he dropped that nugget on all of us. As we turn our attention for the third and final time to Mike Varga. 2 spots out of the podium right now with an 80.66.
Varga has the tricks. We know this. He's just got to put it all together. And that is a great start so far. Oh, no. He had so much speed on that double backflip, though. Like,
Yeah,
he
he
set
did
himself
perfect.
up so good to continue on. Oh, so sad.
Mike Varga, one of my favorite people to watch ride. Killed it. He's in 5th place. Got a really nice run.
We are down to 2. We've got Brandon Lupos.
Hemos visto todos los
coming up next.
Xgame.
He's down in that number 8 spot.
Bueno,
And then
vamos
you've
a ver
got
los
Brady
Xgame, vamos a ver
Baker
cómo vamos acá.
to
Ah, ya
round
casi
us
va a
out as we
terminar.
take
Después
another
vamos a ver
look
al
at our
Street
new
y de
leader,
último al
who
Vert,
was having the
¿verdad?
time of his life running around.
Ya que por motivos externos no
Side of the
pudimos
course to take
ver
selfies
todos
and signing
los
autographs.
Xgame, ahorita lo estamos viendo en Reprise.
Like,
Todos
I
aquellos que se
can't
quieran
explain
conectar y
how
quieran hacer
happy I am
alguna,
that BMX has Ryan
pongamos un
Williams.
en vivo juntos, hablar mucho del
Brandon
BMX,
Lupos and Brady both
lo vamos a hacer acá o escríbanos.
to go.
Todos los días vamos a estar transmitiendo videos, o sea, ver todo el movimiento.
Such a perfect double flip.
I just want Brandon to get a full forward now. He's had a rough week. Oh, Just tag the tiniest bit. BMX is such a game of inches. Tagging that back wheel, losing his feet on the pedals, one jump away from getting a full pull.
It's down to one dude now.
Well,
he's won the last 2 X Games.
You can't ask for a better situation right now.
We have 2 stories to tell right now. Daniel Sandoval's getting a medal. This will be his first BMX Dirt medal because he's guaranteed that bronze because the last rider to go is ahead of him. He's in silver. He came in as a rookie in 2023. He was the top qualifier, then followed it up with a win, which hadn't been done since Ryan Nyquist way back when. He comes into Ventura in 2024, backs it up, became only the 6th rider in the history of BMX Dirt at the X Games to have more than one win. Can he make it a 3-peat? It comes down to this last run.
Casual double, perfect. Flip, triple whip, clean as could be. 3 double whip. My goodness. Brady, go. Castro, bar. Does he go? Oh, Brady Baker.
He's got another flat tire. Did you hear that?
I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it. But again,
when did that happen?
Oh, dude,
when did that happen?
All right, I'm going to say it.
It's the back tire this time.
Dirt rider.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it. That's it. I was waiting for until the 3rd run, and he is officially it.
Do you realize how insane that run was?
From
No, pero estamos back to back.
Oh, that's it. That dude is the best.
Oh,
That is the dude.
And we need to figure out where that tire came out, and it was going to even make it, him being the best that much better.
My heart is pounding. That was one of the coolest runs I've ever seen in my life.
How did he manage to get across that last set?
Oh my
Like I'm saying earlier, he can mess up a little bit, and he readjusts, gets a pump, and throws another bench.
But he only messes up a little bit.
A little bit. Barely. That was perfect.
Still straight to the foot triple. But this is where you changed it too. 3 double whip up that is ridiculous. Like, no, but you guys don't understand. I know it's not the flashiest looking trick, but technical wise, that was such a gamble to go up that step up.
And then Castro bar off. That's the best run I've ever
Let's
seen
watch
in
this
my life.
tire. Let's see where this tire gave out because this is really. I think it could have been right there.
And still held a little bit.
When did it made a noise? You could see it.
Right up.
But when did it come off the tire? Right there at the landing again. 3 front tires.
2 front tire flats and a back tire flat. Wow. On the last run of the jump. Okay, now we wait.
He's the king.
So a 93.66.
Can we stand with the future?
Was that it?
Was that the reveal?
That flashed real quick and then
flashed
went away.
and went away, so I don't know if that was it or not.
And they didn't see anything, so I think we might have been the only ones that saw that.
Okay, so...
What are they doing? This is suspense!
So now Brady Baker does not best Ryan Williams. So Ryan Williams, you talked about at the top of the show, he wants that dirt goal, and he just got it, Dennis.
He did it. This is what Ryan Williams was coming for.
Suspenso, algo así.
That run they got on the gold.
Pero el ganador quedó Ryan. Del Dirt,
That was one of the funnest
del
contests.
Dirt en los Xgame es Ryan Williams, ¿verdad? Ahorita vamos a ir a ver los Xgame del Street.
Ryan Williams, have you considered what it means to be a 10-time X Games gold medalist in this era of the sport?
I totally forgot about that. Thank gosh I got that done. I swear. That's the only time I'm going to beat Brady Baker in the dirt, I think, because he's an absolute animal. He's the future. The guy's the future. W's the future. Shout out to Dickies. I gave my shirt away, so I should be wearing it, but gave it out to the crowd, so shout out to them. But let's go X Games Salt Lake City!
Ryan, there is a question surrounding whether or not you could put a full run together. How'd you answer it?
Barely. Holy moly, I was on the edge of my seat, or the edge
Se
of my
siente la
pedals.
energía hasta aquí de Ryan Williams,
so
¿no?
funny. I'm like, am I going to be able to cash roll this step up? And I only just got it, and then I'm like, fronty tuck. Let's go. My shoulder nearly fell off. Shout out to Andy Buckworth and Logan Martin, just fixed me up in the back before my last run. 3rd time's the charm. Let's go.
Ryan Williams is undefeated as a new father as
Bueno.
well.
Vamos a ponerle pausa a esto y vamos a ir a los al Street. Vamos a ver aquí si puedo ir al street, muchachos. Xgame, solo vamos a poner aquí street. Street BMX. Creo que este es competition. Vamos a ver BMX Street Full. Así.
No puedo decirles cuánto amo esta regla de medición de contorno. Esta herramienta práctica clava medidas exactas para formas extrañas, cilindros.
To the X Games. Welcome everyone inside the Kyocera Dome, which opened in 1997, which is usually home to a Pacific League baseball team.
Pues
but today it showcases some of the best stars in the world of action sports as we get set to bring you BMX Street Playoff. Welcome everyone. Jimmy Coleman here alongside Scotty Kramer. And well, Scotty, when it comes to BMX Street, this one is all about style, it's all about finesse, and of course, that technicality.
Yeah, we have the best riders in the world, and there's so many different styles of BMX Street that you guys are going to see today. And we have the best out there, the greatest of all time, Garrett Reynolds, of course, and we're going to be talking about him a lot today. I'm super excited to see what he comes up with.
Looking at Kevin Peraza right there. He's got back-to-back gold medal performances in this event. Boyd Hilder, who won 2 years ago at X Games Japan. And, of course, as you just mentioned, Scott, Garrett Reynolds, who has a total of 14 X Games gold medals.
Yeah, so Garrett Reynolds, I mean, he is from New Jersey originally. He grew up riding my parents' skate park, so I know him very well. And I believe he's the most talented BMX rider on the planet that ever has been, honestly. And then you also have another rider like Kevin Peraza, who is going to be riding at today's competition. And it's going to be...
Se nos ha cortado.
Completely different clash of styles between here, and this course it's got a little bit of everything.
Vamos al street, a los Xgame 2025 Street.
How this is going to play out for the competition today.
Well, this is how it works in BMX Street Playoff. There's 8 athletes. You're going to get 2 runs here.
Aquellos que quieran venir a hacer un en vivo acá y quieran unirse, pues bienvenidos a hablar ahí de BMX, ¿verdad? Ya que acá es el sitio del BMX. También el que quiera que nosotros le subamos un video acá o un short o algún video que hayan grabado, pues aquí estamos para servirles.
Packing the house here, and again, there's a lot of options out here on the course. We're going to start it off with an X Games rookie, Sosuke Hayata, who got into the alternate when Lewis Mills dropped out of the competition. We have a couple of returning gold medals in the field, Kevin Peraza, Boyd Hilder, and Garrett Reynolds. Scotty.
Yeah, we have a seriously stacked competition today. And I'm looking at this list right here, and I'm seeing every one of these riders, and I see all what they're capable of, and it's going to be insane to see how they approach this course. As we're looking at this shot, you can see this crazy 36-foot ledge that's going to be across there. You're going to see a lot of stuff from that man right there, Courage Adams, going across that. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like a crazy plexiglass roller, which I'm imagining we'll see quite a few interesting manual lines off of that one. I mentioned Garrett's 14 gold medal. Those 14 are all in this event. He has 14 golds in street, 16 total, because the other 2 come from real BMX. As we started off with our X Games rookie, and he's only 14 years old. This is Sosuke Hayata.
Oh, this is so cool to see him riding X Games here in Japan. So he's actually gone viral in the BMX community on Instagram. Everybody has seen him. They love watching his riding. My little brother, Matt Kramer, he is obsessed with his riding. He makes everything look so good. And you can see how he's just in such control of everything. Everything's so calculated, when he's landing with his style on it. So really cool to see him show up at this competition today and be able to ride in front of Japan. How cool is that?
Yeah, he actually came to the last 2 X Games Japan to watch it. He wrote Felix Prangenberg a letter and gave it to him in person at X Games Japan in 2023. And Felix was actually his guardian until his parents arrived in Osaka this week as well. So the parents are definitely supportive, but how awesome is that? Okay, Felix, we're giving you the reins. Take care of him for the week.
No, Felix, he's such a cool guy, and I can completely understand why they felt comfortable with that.
Poquito
But
nada
look at him
más.
riding on this big ledge that we were talking about. Nice truck driver throwing it off there. So you're going to notice his bike is a little bit smaller than the rest of the riders. So he rides an 18-inch wheels, and the rest of the guys are going to be riding 20-inch wheels. So he's a little bit smaller, and I think eventually he's going to move on to that 20-inch, and either way, he's going to look pro on both.
I mean, when you're 14 years old, do you really have pressure? You're probably just stoked that your name got called and you get to come up here and ride with your heroes. But that was pretty darn impressive for a 14-year-old to be the first guy in a pro contest on an international television broadcast audience. As we take our first look at Cologne, Germany's Felix Prangenberg. He owns 3 total medals in this event. They all happen to be silver.
Practicar un parque de
the
esos,
Guardian on course right now. Looking like he knows what he's doing. Like, you trust this guy, right? But the truth is, Felix is an absolutely amazing rider with such a unique style. Look at that, toothpick to hard 180 right there. Such momentum in his riding, like really aggressive, but so smooth at the same time, and very balanced with his triples. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Using the course to its fullest right there, putting an original touch on it.
Coming down to the last couple of seconds, he'll have time for one more, and a solid first outing there for Felix Prangenberg.
La vuelta no es un gran espacio para el parque, pero está bien diseñado.
Well, that one came in World of X Games Real BMX in 2021.
Yeah, he's had so many amazing video parts. I totally recommend all these guys. If you guys are interested in the sport, just check out their names and go and search them online and go see their video parts, because it's unbelievable what they do on the real streets.
I didn't see that foot plant combo at real time.
Yeah.
That was nifty.
Yeah, he had a lot of really creative tricks that were in the line. What's really cool about this, I know there's a lot of street riders that don't want to see the transitions on here, but you could just use it and put a little stylish turnaround to get to the next obstacle, which I think Felix does a great job with.
So a 78 for Felix, that'll put him in the top spot for now. Remember, 8 riders, the top 4 moving on as we bring in Jordan Godwin, coming off of a silver medal performance at X Games Ventura back in 2024.
Oh, he absolutely destroyed that event. And this is another rider, you gotta go check out his video parts. They are insane. Look at the switches. Feet up, right forward right there. And now he's back to left forward. And you'll see that with a few of the guys. So they do that to mix it up and be able to, the judges want to see that too, because if you're switching it up and you're doing different grinds, like, it's completely opposite. Nice over crank on there. Pegs to, I saw him in practice sending that hard 360 out of that rail, so he just didn't get the right pop. But he's got another chance to be able to get it.
Yeah, the first part of the equation here in playoff, remember, you're just trying to make that 4 cut. So half the field moving on into final. Again, those scores get wiped clean. We do it all over again. Let's take a look at some replays here of Jordan Godwin's.
Yeah, you can see right there, that's his right foot forward, and he just did 182 backwards crook. Right foot forward again, toothpick hanger, and he went to the crank rock grind. He's right there at the end of it, so that was a close one.
So what, 66 for the first go around here for Jordan. So Felix Prangenberg stood in that top spot right now with a 78, and now we turn our attention to Sewanee, Georgia's Devin Smiley. He has 5 total medals when it comes to X Games Street. He has 3 silver and 2 bronze. This will be his 13th on-site X Games appearance.
I've been seeing him in practice, and he's been looking really good with some really creative lines. Look at that bar spin to manual.
Down the flat bar.
Going to tires across that.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. 180 backwards tires across that skinny ledge right there. Told you, you're going to see so many different original tricks from these guys. Look at that. Back to pegs. Those are switch pegs, too.
Okay.
Yeah, super creative. Like, in his tricks, I love that. 180 backwards over switch pegs. And like I said, his tricks are so unique, and there's so much balance in his riding. and it's super smooth. It's an amazing rider. He's been doing it for so long too, and to see like he's still at the top of his game.
Yeah, his first appearance goes all the way back to X Games Austin in 2016, and we missed the podium by one spot, finished fourth that year. A little bit of a slower roller, but everything was very calculated, very tech, very methodical.
Obviamente tiene mucho que ver el spot, como les
There's a
digo,
lot of big
el
moments
parque,
there,
¿no?
but I love this one. Bar spin, landing in the manual on that bank, lining up for this rail right here, landing both tires, riding across that.
Y como ese parque no está capacitado tanto para las líneas,
to 180
por la
bar,
forma.
Vicky to switch pegs, and then 180 in, like that's so crazy, that's nuts.
Takes a lot of energy. So an 84.66, you can hear him say right there, it takes a lot of energy. Trying to string together 45 seconds, but judge rewarding him in the mid-80s, so that will put him ahead of Felix Prangberg. So it's Devin Smiley in that top spot.
Como quiera, vamos a ver qué hace con Adams ahí. Si puede,
Top three for now. Remember
si
the top
puede
four transfer on in
conectar líneas.
the final. Courage Adams. He owns 2 total medals in this event, 1 silver, 1 bronze.
That was a 36-foot nose wheelie.
Ya de lo que
He's
les
got
hablo.
such amazing balance. This is another one I'm going to say.
Pero muchos no están listos para esa conversación,
There's
dicen.
literally a video of him doing
Un parque
a
solo para
line combination
acrobacias,
that
no
is
para conectar
longer
tantas
than
líneas.
one of these runs. Like it wouldn't fit in this run at this competition. It would go
Está muy
over time.
complejo para líneas.
Look at that.
Ahí vemos.
Connecting it right there, dropping in. Bar spin to ice pick. That's insane. Oh, nice bar spin.
Me robaron mi agua.
He's got like an answer for everything too.
Un poquito.
I know he had that one mess up on that second trick, but everything else has been amazing. Wow.
Oh, that was no. You know what? It was at the buzzer though. The buzzer had sounded.
Spin your passion into a business with Shopify and break sales records with the world's best converting.
Sounded.
Yeah.
So he's in the middle of a line there, so that's
like
in the mind of the judges.
Yeah, but like when he flipped right there, it like went right into the face of that transition. So then you have their momentum coming to a stop like that. That was a tough one, especially at the end of a run when you've used all your energy. Oh, it's the last thing you want to do.
Igual aquí hay parques que no se pueden
This is how
conectar
it started
líneas.
off.
Es muy difícil, muy complejo.
And he's, it's safe to say, he's the best in the world at these nose wheelies. This combination is insane. Connecting that manual line to a bar spin to ice kick down that rail.
Look, it's a 74.33 despite the fall at the end. That'll put him in that number 3 spot. He's up and okay. A quick tending to or check-in, if you will, with the X Games medical staff to make sure he was A-okay. We bring in Kevin Peraza.
He's up on the top here.
2 total gold medals when it comes
Kevin
to
Peraza.
street. He's the only rider
La
who's ever taken
combinación
gold
entre street,
in
vert y todo lo que le
dirt,
pongan enfrente.
and street, and also let's throw this one in there, park bet trick as well.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. And what is he doing right now?
Up on top of the wall.
Wow,
Tail
that
went
was
in to
sick.
start.
Nice.
That's
Switch
the,
hanger to bar spin too. That was very technical.
that's the Kevin Peraza eye. He likes to start things off with a bang right there.
Look at he's just so aggressive on this course. Like so many hits so far.
Whoa.
Oh no, he's right. But he still saved that. And we were talking about him in park yesterday. Like even when the mess ups happen, they still work out somehow.
Like if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't know that he messed up on that one, didn't dab a foot, and still rode away from it.
Unbelievable. But this run was looking really good. I know that mess up happened, but still, if he can link all this together, this is one heck of a run.
The speed that he had and the intensity that he had in the middle or the span of that 45 seconds. Like you said, picking up where he left off yesterday at park, even when the slip-ups happen, he still makes it look natural. Like, that's no big deal.
It's crazy. Like, but look at here's the start. The tail whip dropping in. That wall was so skinny up there, so he had to stay balanced and then send it. And the switch bar down. Bring speed to that wall ride, doing the bar spin the wall right there. But yeah, Kevin's got an all-around background, so he rides absolutely every part of BMX, and you could tell
He's only the second rider to score in the 80s. So when 80 thinks it'll put him in that number 2 spot. So now it's Courage Adams who's in that number 4 spot. So that is the bubble with 2 riders left to go in the rotation here. This is round 1 out of 2 here in BMX Street Playoff. The object here, you want to be one of the top 4 moving on into the final. This gentleman right here took a gold medal in this event, coming in off the alternate list in Chiba in 2023. It's Australia's Boyd Hilder.
Wow. Love watching Boyd ride any course that he is on. He's got a style right now that is similar to Kevin, how he's bringing the speed, but he's also a very technical rider at the same time. Look at that, pegs to whip out of that rail right there.
Wow.
Okay, so he's bringing to the rail again. Nollie to hanger down that rail. Smith to hard 180, so he's got so many technical tricks. Like, just think about how fast he started off. Like, using that bar spin, the line, the bar spin.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in just the first 30 seconds. That's a foot plant 360 of Fakey, and that'll be the buzzer right there. So your 2023 Chiba Street Gold medalist.
Obviamente después del agua gaseosa
Coming
le
out
tomamos
hot
agua
here
pura.
in round number 1 of the playoff. Also ended up with a Street Silver medal in Ventura in 2023 as well. Had to settle for 5th in this event in Chiba last year.
But look at that hop-up manual going straight down that rail. Bar spin into the wall ride, bar spin out of the wall ride. There's that Smith to hard 180. And then here's that foot plant. One, we saw that one already. Yeah.
Ojo con lo que les voy a decir, ¿verdad? El de parque está chiquito y funcional, pero más para comenzar a entrenar BMX está muy pequeño, ¿verdad? Cuando usted está comenzando a entrenar, lo que necesita es un parque amplio, ¿verdad? Ya con, digamos, el parque con un término medio o avanzado para arriba, sí lo podría usar uno ya más fluido, ¿verdad? Pero para empezar está muy pequeño.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, because you're looking at a gentleman who has been the most dominant man in the history of this event at the X Games. It's Toms River, New Jersey's Garrett Reynolds.
Garrett is just, he is, I say it every time I see him ride, I just think this dude is the most talented BMX rider of all time. And it's just so crazy watching him do his thing. Look at this. Like, he's just carrying that momentum, just floating through there. Nice casual downside whip.
Just coming off the wall a little earlier there, a little early.
Yeah, so I was curious. He might have done that on purpose, actually. Ooh, great speed. Nice truck to flat off the top of that plexiglass.
Coming down to the final 5 seconds here for Garrett. Into the roller.
Ooh, nice tuck to ice pick. That was something that he would have done really early on. Probably when he got like one of his first gold medals.
So you need better than a 78 to get into the top 4 here at the end of round number 1. And Devin's finally sitting in the top spot. Your 2023 Chiba gold medal. Boyd sitting in that number 2 spot. Kevin Peraza sitting in 3rd. Let's take a look back at Garrett's first round run.
Yeah, so here we go up top, getting that speed for this big truck driver.
Como que se están estadounizando, hay otro billete
to flat,
de Guatemala.
Any of that transition, yeah.
What do you think that little hand movement was all about?
Interpret that. That's something new he's been working on, I think.
So what's it going to be here? So Garrett's going to check in with an 80 as well, 82. So Felix Prangenberg gets bumped out to that number 5 spot. So that puts Kevin Peraza on that transfer bubble. So 1 round in the books. We get to go back up to the top of the order and do it all over again. Devin Smiley, Boyd Hilder, Garrett Reynolds, Kevin Peraza, your top 4. Remember, best run that counts. Half the field. Moving on into the final. What a great job on this course here. The guys from California Skate Parks, the job that they do. And they got their work cut out for them because when they wrap up here, they got to turn around. Actually, those guys, all the athletes have to turn around and make a quick turnaround to Salt Lake City because we do this all over again as the X Games moves to Utah for the first time next weekend, Scotty.
Oh, it's such a cool opportunity to go from back to back like that. Just have a full X Games week. I know all the riders are so amped up on it, and just think about like what happened at Park yesterday. All the riders survived. Everybody's looking good. They're going to go into this one with a ton of momentum. So this is going to be epic.
Okay, so we'll see who's going to get those 4 spots. We know the rankings for now.
There's a rim right there. Gold medalist from yesterday.
What a performance out of him yesterday. Takes gold in his home country. Speaking of the home country, this young man coming in off of the alternate list and finds himself at 14 years young here in the X Games. Sosuke Hayata.
Oh, look at that. So smooth, so controlled, and that's why he got the following that he does on Instagram. He absolutely loves BMX. He's obsessed with the style aspect of it, puts so much focus on that, and you could tell. Nice pegs and hopping up over the rail right there. That was really cool.
Wow.
He messed up on it. He got it in run number 2. That was clean as well. So he's coming towards the end of the run. Nice 540 air on the quarter pipe.
Wow.
Ooh, pegs on 180. Just landed a little bit nosedive right there at the end. That's a hard trick to do at the end of your run. But what if you got to be so psyched to be able to ride in front of everybody here? That's amazing.
What a great story. You go on this whole adventure, you get to go ride and film with Felix for the entire week. You're here, you get to ride with all these people that you've lived for so long.
Yeah, your idols, your guardian.
Yeah, and then last minute you find yourself in the event. 14.
Yeah, so look at this right here, grinding up. He's leaning over and pulled up and over the rail right there. That was cool.
Quiero ver
14. Currently sitting in 7th place right now with a first run score of 66.
Nice
Si
creative.
nos miran otros países, estos son billetes de 50 de Guatemala. Más bien Guatemala.
Nice and feeble.
Ese mira ahí.
With toothpick hanger. Nice over crank arm grind. Got good momentum in this run. Okay, there we go.
There we go, there we go.
Backwards crook again. Oh, that's what he needed last time around. He couldn't get that one. Oh, he's got to finish with a good one right here. Nice, hard 180. That's a full pull, man. He's got to feel really good about that. The playoffs are stressful, man.
I was going to say, where do you, looking at that 80.66 on the bubble there to get into fourth, where would you rank this?
It's going to be right there, because in my opinion, when on a street setup like this, he did so many technical street tricks. Like, when you think about all the big tricks that he did, it's a high gamble. Like, a lot of the riders that are above him, like, well, Kevin and Boyd, they brought a lot of speed, but his rail tricks were definitely real special. So I'm really curious to see what the judges put in. That's going to tell a lot moving forward in this competition.
Okay, so it's got to be better than an 80.66 to overtake that fourth place spot. So an 86.66, not only is it good enough to get into the top four, that puts him on the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, because I didn't feel comfortable fully saying it, like, because, like, you have two different styles, right? Like, this is a street competition, and those were gnarly street tricks, so I get it, 100%, but I didn't want to say it. I'm not going to step up and be the judge like that, but I will reward him, though. I knew what he was doing on the rails were gnarly.
Your 2023 North Street Rider of the Year finds himself in the top spot. That bumps Kevin Peraza down into fifth place. As Devin Smiley now sits in number second, he is on number two position. He is now on the course for his second final run.
I mean, so Devin's in second, which is pretty good. But like he messed up that first link, the one that he got, the one that I was freaking out about last time. It's crazy that he get that 2 times in a row. That's insane. But it goes back to the different styles here, right? Like, you can see how fast Boyd and Kevin were flying around the course, and Devin, he's just a technician, slow. The stuff he does really relies on balance. And it's definitely 2 different ways to ride the bike. Oh, that looks so good.
So interesting, when I mentioned Kevin Peraza got bumped out of the top 4. He's coming up with 2 riders here. I don't think what's Garrett Reynolds on the bubble right now with that 82.
Wow. Look at that, cool angle showing that 180 backwards, the tires across that. Very technical. So right here, feeble up, 180 to tires, and then full cab. So smooth, so controlled.
So he's going to stick with that first run score and keep him in that number 2 spot. So you have 2 riders left to go on our final 4 that are on the outside of that transfer bubble looking in. Courage Adams currently sits in 7th. Remember, he took a bit of a hit at the end, right at the buzzer. He was in the middle of a line when the buzzer sounded, but then ended up taking a pretty good hit at the end of it.
Oh, he did it again. That's insane. That was the trick he messed up on in run 1, and he got that huge score. So if he can keep this going, he is definitely going to compete for that top spot. Nice switch hanger to bar spin. There's a manual line, bar to drop manual. To bar spin to ice pick grind. It's the hard 180. He's only got 12 seconds left. He's looking so good. Bar spin to crooked grind.
Down to the final 5 right now.
Yeah, so I mean, this is where he had that crash at earlier.
Go manual. That's 36 feet worth of plexiglass there with a bar 180.
Was a heck of a run. Okay. That was huge. That was a serious run.
This is going to get interesting, people.
Yeah, so, like, I don't want to be the judge, but, like, what he just did, there was so many moments in there that you were like, that's not possible. You shouldn't be able to do that first try. And, like, starting off with this one, 36 feet across, doing a nose, creeping to bar spin. Like, that's slow. There's that Smith, the hard 180 on that ledge right there. And this is what he finished with. This is the one that took him out, where he crashed in that transition. 180 bar spin, perfectly clean this time around. He knows it too.
Okay, it's got to be 82.01 or better to get in. We saw Mr. Godwin jump to the top of the leaderboard here this round 2. That is Garrett Reynolds. He gets to ride last. So he's in that transfer spot, the bubble transfer spot. Wow! Courage Adams
Primer lugar, 90 puntos, ¿qué? 9 o 0, 0 creo que es.
Yeah, it was next level. Everything worked. That was crazy.
Now, Boyd Hilder's now on that bubble spot. So Kevin Peraza now finds himself in 6th, Garrett Reynolds in 5th, and the last 3 to go are Kevin, then Boyd, who's now on the bubble, and then Garrett, who gets to ride left to answer back. Kevin Peraza going to start it off again from the top of this wall.
Whoa, he just did a switch downside to him. His hand fell off, and he just kept it going. Typical Kevin Peraza, just like we were talking about before.
That is literally the width of a 2x4 up there. That is it. Just perched on that. Oh no, Kevin Peraza slides out.
Yeah, he was like, it was one of those things where we joke about it sometimes, like Final Destination crash, where like you're avoiding one, and it's like you're carrying that momentum to the next one, and yeah, he slid out right there. Nice, that was so sick.
Off of that wall, right to bounce out, 180 like that.
A veces cuando hay una caída, de verdad, uno se desconcentra en la competencia porque lleva una ronda y es normal eso.
Starting off with this.
That's a 2x4 up there that he's riding on. It's barely near for his tires on his left foot.
Oh, it's insane. But like this is where things started going wrong. Tires, he wanted to get the bar spin, couldn't. And then he had to refocus, and that's when he had the crash right after that.
He was still smiling throughout all of that, so that's the key factor right there. And the good news is he'll get to do this all over again in about 5-6 days. I believe actually Street is first up for BMX on Friday night when we get to Salt Lake City, so he'll get to re-rack it.
No se me queda el nombre.
They do that all over again. So Boyd Hilder, Boyd Hilder, 23 year champ, we Shiva. He's now on the bubble, and you want to give yourself some breathing room with a guy like Garrett Reynolds.
Estilo bárbaro,
Jimmy just bars him toward the whip.
La fluidez que tiene también
I
este
guess if
atleta.
Garrett is the one that's behind you on that one, you gotta bring out the big tricks. So far, so good though. He's really upped the ante from run number 1. Nice toothpick hanger 180. Oh, nollie to toothpick hanger. It seemed like he almost hung up on that, but he pulled it fine though.
Just under the last 10 seconds to go here for Boyd.
Oh, he does the gap to over double peg on that. That was sick.
That was a good run. A couple of seconds left, but I don't think that.
Yeah, if it was
that
park,
damaging.
Yeah, if it was park, that's a problem. Street, I don't think it's nearly as bad, especially when you're gonna.
Como me gustó la ronda de este atleta, muy fluido, mucho estilo, ¿verdad? Buen estilo de Boyd Hilder y la ronda pues impecable, ¿verdad?
So he's a full point ahead of Garrett for now. But again, being in that number 4 spot with a guy like Garrett still to ride last and only 4 of you moving on into the final, it's not a comfortable spot to be. So he's thinking, hey, hopefully I can climb the ladder right here and earn myself a spot in that final.
Hilder
But I'm on Courage Adams here in this second round. So 83.33. So we'll give him a little over 0.3 of a point improvement. Improved the score a little bit, not the placing, so he gets to ride this one out.
Yeah, barely an upgrade.
Muy bonita la fluidez de esta atleta, ¿verdad? Que mira,
I did my first time around.
It was less than serious with that score, I would say, judging from that reaction.
Se ve la transición y se ve también
So it all
el
comes
estilo,
down to this. Before we get into the final, this is just for the right to get a spot in the final 4. It's Garrett Reynolds.
Aquí sí se le complicó a Reynolds, ¿no?
He's been in positions like this before. Look at that. No, he's on to ice big.
Fast, he spun the bars and locked into that.
Ya nos patrocinaron ahí el almuerzo.
That's been what he's been known for since the beginning, with fast bars.
¿Cómo se llama la
So far, so good. He's got so many different tricks so far, and he's actually up the ante. So you can see right there, he's doing that bar spin. He's just used that as a turnaround. Oh, that was cool. Nice gap to 180 backwards crook, 180.
Coming down to the final 10 seconds up to the plexiglass.
Nice truck driver again.
Final couple of seconds, and that is going to be the buzzer there.
Yeah, so there was some big moments there. This is going to be close. And judging by the way, I'm just going to go out here. If I had to say, judging by the way, they're more technical tricks. Like Garrett could be right there where he's going to sneak past Boyd. I think there's a possibility.
I think it's going to be that close.
Almorzando y viendo los Xgame.
Yeah, so
por
he had
el canal del
really
sitio del
cool
BMX.
moments in there, and he definitely upped the ante from run number 1. Here's that big
Wow.
truck driver again, 2 flat, traveling all the way across there. And this was at the end of the run. This is how he finished it. So bar spin, 2 double peg grind on that rail, and then right into a truck fakie.
Okay, now we play the score game. Look at Boyd. He's back there looking. It's like, where do I see the board?
Yeah.
83.33 is what he has holding him on to that. Oh, and you called it, just a couple of tenths of a point. Garrett Reynolds is going to eclipse him with an 84 flat. That is a tough break for Boyd right there. But Garrett Reynolds has done it again at 0 hour to get himself.
Aquí sí le fue mal a Reynolds como le digo, por el estilo del parque.
Oh man,
but he's going to have to go first, which is again territory that we're not used to seeing Garrett in when it comes to BMX Street.
Yeah,
because we run them in reverse order as to how they qualified.
And also, we got a pretty quick turnaround too, and he was looking like he needed a second too, so that's going to come into play.
Wow, so Courage Adams, after taking a pretty heavy slam there at the end of his first run, comes back in round 2 and blasts into the 90s to put himself in the top spot, and by virtue of that, he is going to be the last to ride when we get into the final. But this gentleman right here, making it a very exciting finish yet again on his last run, squeaks in and gets the last spot in the final.
Yeah, so we saw so much amazing riding so far, and I know these guys they have more tricks ready to go. It's going to get crazy, man. This is going to be a good one.
So the final is set. Your 14-time street gold medalist is going to have to go first. Courage Adam gets to ride last. Who's getting the gold? We'll find out when we return to Osaka.
Is the place to be. Welcome to the party. Oh my goodness, Colby Ross. Arissa Trill.
Kevin Terraza.
Is Nigel Houston about to make history? The answer is yes.
Shout out Xgames. We love y'all.
Well, that is coming up in less than a week. It's next Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the first time ever in Salt Lake City. But here today, inside the Kyocera Dome at X Games Osaka 2025, we still have some business to take care of. We have taken the field from 8 down to 4 here in the BMX Street Playoff, and now we move on into the final. So it's Garrett Reynolds right there, 14 street gold medals, 16 total X Games medals to his name. He got that last spot, so he's going to have to ride first here. Devin Smiley was your 3rd place qualifier, so he'll get next. Jordan Godwin ends up jumping into that number 2 qualifier spot. And then, of course, it's Courage Adams. And run number 2, Scotty, he grabbed that 90 flat and earned the right to ride last to try to claim X Games gold.
It was absolutely epic, and I know that they have more tricks ready to go for this final. This is going to be really cool to see what they do.
Well, everyone in this final, they have some street hardware. Of course, Garrett, with those 14 gold, he's got 2 silver and 4 bronze, so 20 total for him. Devin's got 3 silvers and 2 bronze for 5 total. Jordan's got a street silver, and then Courage has a silver and a bronze. So everybody in this final has been on the podium when it comes to BMX Street here in the history of the X Games. But we started off with Mr. Reynolds here. Finally broke the record at 16 total gold medals. For his last gold medal appearance in Street, he surpassed Sean White. He was tied with him at 15 and surpassed it last year at X Games Chiba.
Well, Garrett's changing things up already. He did bar spin to manual on that rail instead of the bar spin to ice pick. I love how he's carving over and hitting that downside whip and just going straight back into his line. Yeah, so he's doing that bar spin to wall ride as a turnaround every single time so far. Bringing some speed. Nice tail whip to flat. Mixing it up from that truck driver. Switch with it. Ooh, it looks like he's gonna try something into that rail right there.
So, at about the halfway point of this round, I don't know if you saw it, he kind of made a grimace after hopping off of one of those rails. He kind of made a bit of a face as he was coming across the course.
Ooh, yeah, there's a chance that he could be battling with something right there. But it's still, I mean, he's riding at such a high level, it's hard to say. Nice technical line through there. Here's that tail whip he did off to flat. Right there, you know, his feet were finding the crank arms a little bit more instead of the pedals, but didn't look like there was anything too bad there, like physically. So nothing from what I could tell, but
feeling a little winded after that one. So an 83.66, again, like you mentioned before we went to break, it's a pretty tight turnaround there from playoff into final. So again, the scores from that playoff bar race, we started all over again, running reverse order as to how they qualified. So Garrett sets the bar here with the gentleman making his 13th on-site X Games appearance. Devin Smiley, 3 silvers in street, 2 bronze for 5 total medals.
Here's that line, he's locked in. 2 tires perfect that time around. Once again, locking in that 180 backwards tires across that skinny ledge. Pegs, 180 bar, 2 switch pegs back over. What a cool line.
Nice.
And this one too, I love how he's doing that 180 backwards over switch pegs, 180 out. Ooh, nice popping that half cab out.
Coming down to the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's a very similar run to what he actually did in the playoffs. Getting one on board right there. Could be a very strategic move, actually. Because, you know, there's times where the riders, you know you're in finals, you're like, I want to go for my dream run. And sometimes you get a little lost in that one. It's good to get a solid run down like that. But still, when I say solid run, like what he just did right there, it's the fact that he's landed that as many times as he has is absolutely insane. But right here, he was actually doing full cab out in the playoff, and he just did the half cab right there. So
Garrett had an 83.67. Devin's going to get an 88.66.
That was a huge score on that one.
That would have been good enough for the number 2 spot coming out of the playoffs. So Devin definitely up in the ante here. Jordan Godwin, your Ventura BMX Street silver medalist from June of last year.
Nice gap to pegs again. Such a technical rider. Nice nollie to feeble, switch hanger. Using both sides of the bike on the pegs.
A lot going on in the first 15 seconds here.
He's using a very similar line that he's been doing in the playoffs as well, which is super smart. I mean, the judges rewarded him so well. As long as he can add on to that, you know, maybe do another technical rail trick like he has, is all he needs. And he's got it again. The hanger crank arm 180. Nice over crank arm on there. And perfect timing again. So that was a very strategically done run right there for run number 1. He's popping up over right there. T-bog over the rail, switching his feet. See that? And then switch. So he's doing the hanger, and then he's going to the crank arm with the right foot. And he rides left foot forward all the time, so it's just crazy. Really technically. See, left foot forward right here. So that would be like the normal way he would do things. So crazy technical, and that's why the judges are rewarding him for it.
So an 86.33 for him, so that'll slide him into silver for now. Garrett Reynolds will slide down to that bronze position, so 88.66, 86.33, and an 83.66. And to take us out of round 1 of 2 here in the final, it's your top qualifier. Remember, he posted up a 90 in that playoff round. This is Courage Adams. He has a silver and 1 bronze to his name when it comes to street at the X Games. Look at this nose manual to bar out to start it off.
3 times in a row now. Oh, he put the foot down again on that one. Oh, bummer. But like earlier though, he did a run still after he had that mess up, and it was still got a really good score, all things considered, and he had that crash at the end. So, I mean, if he has the endurance, you send it, you know, try to get one on the board. You never know, honestly. And so far, so good. Look at, he's corrected everything. He looks so solid on the bike. Nice bar spin to crooked grind.
Time for one more before that buzzer begins his line before the horn.
Yeah, does the same trick, and he pulls it again. So everything but that.
Recuerden que aquí en Santa Rosa, por allá,
estamos en la zona
Yeah, would imagine that when you get into the line,
costera,
you're in the middle of a line before the buzzer sounds, and then the buzzer sounds. They let you finish that out, and that will count.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too.
Otro lado, las mojarras o las caras.
Yeah, look at this. Here's that manual. Hop, bar spin to manual. Going in, bar spin to ice pick grind down that rail. And then the Smith Harbor across that, which is an awesome trick.
Now we wait before we go into round two, an 85.33, so he will overtake Garrett Reynolds, so that'll put him in the medals.
So just like I said, like he had the mess up. It's like if you have the endurance, go for it. Especially when you're riding as good as him, because look at that puts him in a medal position already.
So Devin Smiley sitting in the top spot at the end of the first round. They only get 2 here in the final, so this is the last round of runs. We go back up to the top with Garrett Reynolds, 45 seconds on the clock. Best run that counts. Can he jump back up into the medals here?
Yeah, so and those first 2 hits are so technical that he's done already. And nollie to bars from the ice pick grind at 540, so consistent. I said this before, like I love how he's going to this downside whip. He's got so many hits already on the course, like an answer for everything he approaches. So this is going to be big. 180 bar spin to backwards crooked grind. He's only done the 180 to backwards crooked grind. Tail up to flat again. So this is definitely an upgrade. He's got to finish strong though right here.
Yeah, with the last couple of seconds here.
Oh, took him into 2 ice pick grind. That was some old Garrett Reynolds stuff right there, but you can see he's wore out.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to lay here on the corner and take a little nap.
Cansado.
Yeah,
me cansé de solo estar viendo.
Something, I think, you know, he might be coming off of an injury. He might be dealing with an injury. But still, I mean, just think about it. And even if that is the case, if I am right by speculating that, which it all is speculation, he's still riding at such a high level. It's insane.
That just, speaks to the grit and determination that is Garrett Reynolds. Like I said, first run, he had a little bit of a grimace in the middle of that run. He either didn't like something or was maybe trying to shake something off physically. I don't know. We'll have to ask him when we get to Utah, Scotty.
Yeah, that's a good point. So this is definitely an upgrade over the first run.
Oh, he gets in with an 87. He goes from 4th all the way up to 2nd, so that's going to put him just behind Devin Smiley. So Garrett Reynolds, you called it an upgrade, and it is just that. So that'll put him in a silver 4 now, and that'll bump Courage out in that number 4 spot, which, remember, Courage is going to get to ride last. So this just got real interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
This is going to get good.
Okay, your current leader, Devin Smiley. Like I said at the first run, 5 total medals, 3 silver, 2 bronze. Can he possibly hang on and get his first ever BMX Street Gold?
So far, so good. Okay, he's got to get something. Make an addition. I want to see something different. I want to see him. All right, so far, so good. Locking into that one. I tried to be quiet on there. I hate like trying to talk over and like figured let that one play out while he's getting that link. Love this line though. I love his approach to the course. Love his style of his tricks. I want to see him get something big at the end right here and try to really, solidify that top spot when you have all these guys. Break arm hopping over again. So yeah, another similar run to what he did the first time around. But the truth is, if I'm going to be honest, he did get the full cap off. So it's almost like you know, there's a couple things that you could go back and forth on between the runs, but like he did upgrade that run, and he's already in goal position. So the bar spin to manual, connecting over to the tires, down that square rail. But yeah, right here where he does his fakie, and then he does that full cab out, that 360 fakie, he only did a half cab out, and he's got that gold medal score. So I'm curious to see how the judges are going to see this, what they saw compared to the first one.
He was a little over a point and a half ahead of Garrett.
There we go.
Wow, a 90. So remember, saw Courage Adams get a 90 in the playoff in order to be here in the final and ride in that #1 spot. So now Devin Smiley has put himself in with a 90. He was already in the lead, but that is some very welcome breathing room for him with that score of 90. As I said, he owns 3 silvers and 2 bronze. He would love to walk out of Osaka with a gold. It comes down to our last 2 runs. Jordan Godwin looking at a possible medal here, sits in that bronze spot with an 86.33.
Yeah, so Jordan, he's got a great base for his run. Not like a feeble, going for that switch hanger right there as well. And there's a crank arm with the left crank that time. So I'm just going to point that out for everybody that's watching, because if he continues a similar setup, you'll notice that he's going to be doing crank arm with the right crank. So just to be able to go back and forth like that is insane. Such a hard trick. Yep, there you go. There is the tooth hanger to right crank arm grind to 180. Nice, got the hard 3 at the buzzer. That is an upgrade, so the judges are forced to give him a higher score on this one. There's no other answer. Everything was super clean, and he did a great job. Nice little turn down into the bank right there.
Esta es la misma rutina como dije. Vamos a...
Yeah, right here you see hanger, right crank arm to 180 out. So technical. And then this is how he finished right here. This pegs to hard 360. And he's only been doing hard 180 all day. And he's got the score that he did, so.
So now it's in the hands of the judges. Oh, an 87.66, a little over a half a point ahead of Garrett Reynolds. So that puts Jordan Godwin into silver. Now this just got into a completely different layer of interesting, because with one more rider left to go, Garrett's now on that bubble. Garrett's only missed the podium 1 time. He's taken 21 medals and 21 starts here at the X Games. He earned the first 19 medals consecutively. So now he's looking at another bronze potentially, but it comes down to what this gentleman can do in the span of these next 45 seconds. Courage Adams, your top qualifier. He gets to answer last.
4 times he's got that trick. It's insane. All right, that's the trick that took him out in the first 2 runs, actually, that he did in playoff and finals. So if he can get this going, this is going to be a huge score, and he can easily get on that top of that podium. Nice switch hanger to bar spin. Manual, hot bar to manual. The bar to ice break. So far, so good.
Gotta hang on for 15 more seconds.
Yeah, but we all know how he ends this run. It's a banger. So this is what it's going to come down to, Jimmy. This is going to decide it.
Okay, there we go. Manual.
And he's got it. He's got it.
And that is going to do it. There is the buzzer. Courage Adams puts it together. Last run, last guy to ride in the run order.
And that was the cleanest one that he did. I think everything that he did in that run was so clean. Everything was executed so well, so.
Oh, my goodness.
4 times he did that. That impossible trick 4 times in a row. But this is the one that took him out in the first run of the finals, and he got it that time. So just think about that. He got an 85 with that mess up. This could be a huge score right here. And this is the one that he finished off with, the manual across. Getting that 180 bar spin into that steep, skinny bank right there.
What is the score going to be? You need better than an 87 to jump into the medals. You need better than a 90 flat if you're going to overtake the top spot. Devin Smiley sits in that top spot. And is it going to be enough? And it is! Courage Adams with a 91.33, the highest single score that we saw in the playoff or this final. And that man right there just took X Games gold at BMX Street and put his name on a very, very short list of individuals that have ever taken gold in this event.
Señores, es el nuevo ganador del Xgame en Street. Ya se lo merecía, va, muchas veces lo vimos ahí compitiendo, ¿verdad? Y muchos lo menospreciaron, dice, pero ahora ahí se puede dar cuenta uno, ¿verdad? El apoyo entre los mismos profesionales, ¿verdad? Sin envidia, sin nada. Eso así es.
The last time an athlete from Spain won gold, you got to go back to X Games Aspen in 2020, snowboard superbike. It was Corot Castellet.
Wow. That is insane.
Oiga, ahí mismo le dicen, ya era hora, y sí, ya era hora, la persistencia y la perseverancia, Curans la ha hecho.
It was flawless. Everything he did in this run was so good, and he picked the perfect time to be able to deliver it. What a banger. What an amazing day riding for Courage.
Here's another insane stat. We started doing street, you got to go back to LA in 2008. In the time span of this event, he's only the 7th guy to have ever taken the gold in BMX Street. How crazy is that?
It really is nuts.
That's what I was talking about. It's a very, very short list of people that have taken gold. So he's got 1 silver, 1 bronze, and now a gold. So Courage Adams now has the trifecta.
10 minutos para 2 horas de transmisión.
Thank you. You want to get your hat on the podium? I mean, to be the top qualifier, to be in the bottom, because out of these 4, only 1 person doesn't get to make it to the podium. You're at the bottom of the pack, and you get to come in and ride last, and you claim the gold in that final run. That was huge, Scotty.
Yeah, that's the dream scenario right there, to be the last one to decide whether or not you are going to be the one that gets to do their best run when it counts. And that's the dream scenario, and he stepped up, and man, he is going to have an amazing night hanging out with all these guys.
Ahí estamos,
Courage
Adams,
silver from
campeón del
2023, the street bronze from 2024, and here in Osaka in 2025. He takes home the shiniest medal of them all. Courage Adams claiming X Games
estamos viendo
BMX Street
reprise, aunque sea.
gold in Osaka.
Pues como les había dicho, no habíamos visto los Xgame, ¿verdad? Por motivos ajenos, dice. Pero ahorita estamos viendo aquí todos los episodios de los Xgame. ¿Y qué les iba a decir yo? Pues ahí el campeón es Q Adams, ¿verdad? Muchos pues no lo han seguido a Q Adams, pero Q Adams viene muchos años compitiendo en los Xgame, ¿verdad? Ya ahí mismo le dijeron también, ¿verdad? Que ya era merecedor este triunfo. Es muy, o sea, personalmente yo me siento muy, ¿cómo se llama esto? Muy, no me acuerdo el término, muy contento, ¿verdad? Muy contento por el logro de Q Adams, porque lo hemos visto en Xgame, tras Xgame, ¿verdad? Y hoy fue el triunfo de Q Adams, y es muy merecedor, ¿verdad? Muy merecedor, ya que conectó unas líneas donde un parque que casi es imposible conectar líneas de esa manera, ¿verdad? Como les digo, por lo junto, ¿verdad? Yo se los digo de esta manera porque aquellos que me han visto montar y saben cuál es mi conocimiento en el BMX, saben que yo soy ahí sí que un experto en líneas, ¿verdad? Ese es el punto más duro que yo tengo. Y uno puede darse cuenta donde puede conectar líneas y donde casi es imposible, ¿verdad? Hay parques que son muy pequeños y ahí se dificulta mucho las líneas, ¿verdad? Por los ángulos, digamos, por los círculos cerrados, ¿verdad? Uno necesita pues un parque más abierto para conectar puntos, ¿verdad? Y obviamente en un parque pequeño pues cuesta mucho, ¿verdad? Ahorita vamos a ver aquí una parte del BMX Park. Y como les dije, que este es donde íbamos a terminar. Todos los días vamos a estar transmitiendo acá, a ver diferentes puntos, y también vamos a invitar a algunos riders ahí si se quieren unir a hacer una transmisión junto con el sitio del BMX y hablar de muy diversos temas, ¿verdad? Tanto como riders, como parques, como taller, también ¿cómo se llama esto? Impulsar el BMX, ¿verdad? Y muchos temas diversos. Entonces vamos a mandar ahí algunas cartas a unos riders donde podamos conversar acá, y obviamente pues si alguno ahí acepta o cómo se llama, vamos a tener algunas figuras, lo vamos a publicar ya sea en el sitio en BMX Destruction o en las plataformas de la comunidad del BMX, para que ustedes estén enterados qué día, a qué hora se va a hacer esas transmisiones, ¿verdad? Y también que estén atentos al canal del sitio del BMX, porque este canal es para esto, ¿verdad? También, pues como les digo, si ustedes quieren subir algún video, algún truco que hayan sacado y que nosotros le demos o sea, lo subamos al canal del sitio del BMX, pues ahí tienen el contacto de la plataforma, perdón, del Gmail, también el WhatsApp o en las redes sociales, ahí pueden encontrar, escribirnos ahí, y nosotros con gusto les damos, pues le subimos ¿cómo se llama? Al canal del BMX, ¿verdad? Entonces, pues sigamos acá viendo esto, y después vamos a hacer algún análisis ya concreto de todo lo que hemos visto hasta ahora, y sigamos promoviendo el BMX, que es una cultura muy, muy bonita. Así que seguimos en la transmisión.
Love, like I started just like you guys, and I'm here now, and this is so insane, so get out there, get it, and go do it too.
So Kevin Peraza chasing some medals in 3 events out here in Osaka this weekend. You'll see him here in the park playoffs, hoping to make it into the final, as well as street, as well as park best trick a little bit later on this evening. Fans piling their way here inside the Kyocera Dome, and well, he's got his work cut out for him out here today, Scotty, because that is Logan Martin, who owns 5 gold medals in the history of the X Games when it comes to BMX Park, and he's chasing a record out here today as well.
Yeah, and I'm proud to say I'm part of that record, and I'm tied with Dave Mirra for the most medals in BMX Park, and Logan has an opportunity to beat that tonight, and there's a really good chance that he can do that, because he is the real deal.
Then you also have Marcus Christopher, who has a gold medal in BMX Park as well. So this is how it works at X Games Osaka 2025 in the playoffs. This first round here, or the playoff, if you will, there are 8 riders in the field. They're going to get 2 runs each, and it is the best run that counts out here. After that, we cut the field in half. Only the top 4 will move on into that final. They'll get 2 runs again, and the best run counts. And then hopefully you're walking out of here with some X Games Osaka hardware. We take a look at our start list here. You got Bryce Tryon, Daniel Sandoval, Anthony Jean-Jean, Jose Torres, Kevin Peraza, Marcus Christopher, Rim Nakamura, and Logan Martin. Now those last 3, they get to ride in that order because that is the podium from the last event here. Logan Martin walking out of here with a gold in Chiba in 2024. So
¿Cómo se debe sentir el ambiente ahí, verdad? Un día de estos, pues lo vamos a saber. Vamos a saberlo, ¿verdad? Creo que el cuate Manuel Iscoy, creo que se llama, ya anduvo ahí, ¿verdad? Ahí cuando sacó la bandera de Guatemala ahí en el público de ustedes, y fue algo muy bonito ver una bandera guatemalteca ahí, ¿verdad? Pero vamos a ver si el próximo año, pues, primero Dios andamos ahí o alguien de nosotros anda por ahí, ¿verdad?
And we've already got a double backflip.
Just launched that first hit and then right into a double backflip. Bryce Tryon wasting no time here to get this playoff started.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out straight away is look how he's just covering this whole course. He's gone on every part of the skate park already. Oh, look at that. Nice 540 flare. He's got big tricks, but like I said, he's so well-rounded. He could ride anything. He's got so many transfers so far, so much speed, and he did a double backflip too, which is awesome.
just look at the way that he's just linking everything up here. He's got good flow, great use of course here, and he is flying through this course right now at a rapid pace to set the bar here. I mean, out of this field with these 8 guys and only half get into the final, you only get 2 runs. There is no margin for error here, Scotty.
Yeah, that's why they're sending double backflips straight away, because it's really a situation where you have to show up and you have to bring your best to move on from the playoff to the final. So this is going to be huge.
So again, they'll be working off of a 100-point scale out here, your best of your 2. It's what's hopefully going to get you in that 4-cut. So Bryce Tryon checks in with a 68 to get things started here. Also, just coming over. Flew in from his honeymoon. He was in Europe and came straight here to Osaka, so a little bit of jet lag, and then comes out and puts down that run. Here comes Daniel Sandoval. He owns a total of 5 park medals in the history of the X Games. 3 of those bronze, but 2 of those being gold, including one from here 2 years ago.
Yeah, Sandoval is I mean, forever now. He's been around the sport. Like, when I used to ride, I was competing against him, and he was as good as he was then as he is now. I mean, he's even better now. He's got so many tricks, so many different variations of tricks, too. And he goes huge. Look at how he rides these big quarter pipes.
Watch this. Make a UGC-style ad promoting coffee. Tired of sugary soda?
Nice bar spin flare, but look at the speed he's traveling through here, and that's what I really like about this course. Like, you're able to bring speed, and whichever direction you go to, there's something that you can do with the speed. But you got to be able to keep it together, like how he did that straight bar spin over the box. Like, yeah, that's not what he wanted, but he knows he's going to have to clean that up, but he's going to make the best of this because he's been doing this forever. He's a real professional.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could see the frustration on his face there. He got a little lost towards the last quarter of the time on the clock. He did a straight wall and then that bar spin over the box.
Yeah, but look at that. Beautiful cork 720 bar spin right there. But yeah, this is the part where it went a little wrong right there. You know, a bar spin over a box jump is definitely not what you want to do here at the X Games. But he'll be back, and he'll be back with a vengeance for sure.
Yeah, remember, it's your best run that counts. You see him standing there having a chat with Mike Varga, who we'll see a little bit later on, and Dave Mira BMX Park Best Trick. And you don't typically see a situation like that where Daniel Sandoval gets lost, but again, I mean, made the best of it. See him shaking that one off. Ryan Williams lurking in the background there. We'll see him in Dave Mira BMX Park Best Trick later on tonight. Boyd Hilder, who will be in Street, which will take place tomorrow here. BMX Street here at X Games Osaka. So, Daniel Sandoval, despite the hiccup, he still gets a 70, so that'll slide him ahead of Bryce Tryon. So we bring in our French competitor here in his 3rd X Games appearance. This is Anthony Jean-Jean. His best finish in park was the 7th place that he received in Ventura in 2023.
Yeah, and he's also coming off that Olympic medal, which was so huge for him. And he's really upped his riding in the past few years. I mean, he just took things to the next level. He's bringing these huge tricks, but he's also bringing these creative and high-speed lines. Oh, look at that. Scissor kick right there over that huge air. And that's a really rare trick. Not many people do that at all. So, really awesome trick list. Alley-oop 540 flare.
See where he landed that, just perfectly under the coping. It almost looked like he got speed out of that.
Oh, there's a cool transfer right there that he did off of that part that's sticking out that's really steep. So, yeah, that's what I love about this course. You're going to see so many different lines, and these guys are really taking advantage of it so far. Nice 720 over the box. Here's that bars from 720, getting the bars around. grabbing and then just looking and rotating the rest of it. Now right here, this double tail is actually a switch double tail, which means it's the opposite direction that he normally does. And I mentioned this earlier, this is a spinning the opposite direction that he's traveling, which makes it pretty complicated.
So that'll net him a 77.66, which puts him in the driver's seat here in the early part of round number 1, BMX Park 4.
Bueno, hasta acá llegamos con los Xgame. Ya vimos casi todos los episodios. Nos va a faltar el parque, eso lo vamos a dejar para el día de mañana. También para el Bert, ¿verdad? También lo vamos a dejar para el día de mañana ahí. Pero si quieren estar viendo, venir a ver acá al canal, pues vénganse, ¿verdad? Ya que pues así lo vemos juntos. Y no solos, dijeron por ahí. Para que se motiven, ver también las transiciones. Como les digo, vamos a invitar a algunos riders ahí, ¿verdad? A ver si toman la invitación para que se vengan acá al sitio del BMX y podamos ver todo esto, ¿verdad? También hablar, como les digo, muchos de taller, de muchos pues, puntos del BMX, ¿verdad? Acá en Guatemala y también internacionalmente, ¿verdad? Habíamos el parque, pues, fluidos, como les digo, pues acá en Guatemala aún está en pañales el BMX, ¿verdad? Aún faltan más instituciones y más protocolos y mucho más técnico, ¿verdad? No solo de entrenar por entrenar, sino una dirección sólida y por eso estamos en este canal, pues, haciendo la diferencia y también, pues, haciendo una cuenta algo orientada donde podamos a poder sacar a los atletas de Guatemala al mundo, ¿verdad? Así que aquí estamos y saludos y seguimos acá en el sitio del BMX todos los días. El horario obviamente va a cambiar, pero aquí es el sitio del BMX.